I'm sorry I ain't get right back at you. I've been a little busy with this dynasty. I told y'all I was coming. Pause. But I told y'all I was coming back. And we here now. Shakur Stevenson, Ray Ford, Montana Love, and Keyshawn. They turned into the Avengers of boxing, the Justice League, to help Jake Paul. And then the fight gets canceled. Ugh. You hate to see it. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. You dig? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I think y'all thought it was over, and I wasn't going to come back with the heat, but I'm a man of my word. I told you I was coming back with this video. Now, at the time where I said it, it was still up in the air and debatable if the Jake Paul Tank fight would be canceled, right? So I told you I had to wait. Now we know the fight officially been canceled. Jake Paul's moving on. Gervonta is going to move on. Now, I did a video for you guys. You got to subscribe. You got to watch the content because it's like an anthology. A lot of my content goes hand in hand. Like if you watch video A, you probably should watch video B and C. Like I got a Clarissa Shields, Layla Ali beef video, unpacked style that I dropped today. But there's 3 other videos kind of in that series. You got to watch them. So I've already made a video about it. Tank's team is blaming Jake Paul. They're saying that Netflix wasn't the one that ultimately canceled this fight. Netflix wasn't the one that pulled the trigger and, officially said it's donezo. They are alleging that it was Jake Paul because he was scared. And there's a lot of people who speculate and or believe that Shakur, Ray Ford, Keyshawn, whoever he was sparring with out of that clique, they were running him in camp and possibly weight issues is what Team Tank was saying. But other people believe that Jake Paul was having fits with the smaller actual boxers who are in their prime, and then this became a way out when Tank had this legal trouble or these accusations. So check out that video. In this video, I want to focus on this Shakur Stevenson. I told you I was going to make this video. The man teamed up with Jake Paul. It looks so bad to me, bro. Boxing, one thing, you can say whatever you want about Tank. One thing that he said that is oh so true is that right now boxing is Trinidad. Boxing looks horrible. And I agree with that 1,000%, right? There's not really any engaging storylines. Like you got Canelo, who was perceived to be as the face of boxing, and he got cooked. He got cooked by Crawford. So it hurts the sport when the so-called face of boxing gets cooked by somebody 2-3 divisions under you. This is one of the major reasons why I did not want to see Canelo Crawford like that, right? It wasn't to shade Crawford or whatever people thought. It was because the fight don't make sense. Now Crawford talking about Janabek and I'm watching you. I got my eye on you, Janabek. I mean, how many people have even watched Janabek 3 fights from him? So I've watched Janabek, but it's not a real big fight. You know what I mean? It'll just be like kind of like what Crawford was fighting with Top Rank. Maybe somewhat dangerous of a fight with an unknown name that don't ring any bells. And that is the reality of it. So that's why I didn't want to see the fight. And it's funny because I say these things, people are like, oh, Ego, you're wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to the future, a lot of what I say, I want to say a good 90, 95%. My accuracy rating got to be stupid. Like if this was a Madden game, when it comes to predictions and like foresight, my accuracy rating is stupid. is is crazy, right? And that was one of those where in real time people said I was hating on Crawford and Canelo. Now you see how dry the game looked. The fight happened, came and went. You know, people talked about it a little bit, and then now Crawford off doing whatever, Canelo spending time with his kid. You know, it's just dry and no real conversation. Whereas when you have a good fight like Tank versus Ryan, right? That was a good fight for that particular year. The conversation becomes, man, because Tank's still young, he's still spry, you know, when he fought Ryan Garcia, so he knocked Ryan out. So it's kind of like, what's next? Man, I want to see him fight Shakur or blah, 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 right? So there's a conversation there. We know Canelo and Crawford, they're at the end of their rope. They've kind of done the bulk of what they're going to do in the sport already. It's kind of what it is, and I'm just being real with you. So that's that. But let me get back focused. Shakur Stevenson. I told you guys another thing why I got right, and my accuracy rating is crazy, is I told you it wasn't a good look. Like, I firmly believe in this, and I think this new generation can learn from the gems I'm about to drop. When it comes to the game of boxing or whatever, right? Or any game, really, I feel like you got to make your next move your best move. And I try my best in life. We're all going to make mistakes somewhere along the line. But what I try to do is try to minimize those mistakes and make the correct decision using my senses, you know, my five senses, using my ability, my mind, my experience, my upbringing, and what my parents taught me. And I try to make the best decision. And I told you going in that Shakur sparring with Jake Paul, it was going to leave a sour taste in the mouth of fans. Not like, oh, man, he can't do whatever he wants. He's a grown man. He can spar with whoever he wants to. But this particularly, you're helping another fighter who's already like a bigger name than you, right? And you're helping him try to achieve your goal. Where they do that at, right? That's like me committing and, you know, working 90 hours a week on somebody else's boxing channel on YouTube. Why would I do that? Name one good reason when I've established myself. I'm a pioneer in this game. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, right? Why would I dedicate 90, 100 hours or whatever to somebody else's goal when I've worked hard enough to work on my goal, on my mission statement? And that's in essence what Shakur did. And we know the bickering and the back and forth, and it just wasn't a good look. And then come to find out, the fight gets canceled. Now it really looks like a bad look, because for me, if I made the decision, let's say I'm Shakur, I at least wanted to go through to see if what you probably wanted to happen happens. Like, for example, do you think Steve Nelson would get in camp with Canelo when his best friend is Crawford? Of course not, right? There would be no reason. Why would he do that? Why would he help Canelo beat his mans? Now, I'm not saying Shakur and Tank are best of friends, but still there's a conflict of interest. And at one point you guys were cool. So, you know, in helping this person, then you're actually trying to, like, why would you spar somebody and not want to ready them and see them succeed? Right? It just, you think Boots would have preferred if Canelo won or lost to Crawford, right? Because if he won, it almost would make him look better in the process. So that's why it gets a little bit slippery, a little bit tricky. Now, again, I understand how sparring works. You're going to spar with different people, but just given the fact that Shakur seems obsessed with Tank, it wasn't a good look. And now that the fight's canceled, you did all that for what? To be in the presence of Jake Paul and be in camp with Jake Paul And then now fans are like, hey, you snaky and blah, blah, blah. And as of me recording this video, you still ain't even announced the Teofimo fight if that's going to happen next, right? So while you're up here congregating and fraternizing to help Jake Paul, who ultimately canceled the fight or whatever with Tank anyway, while you're sitting up here doing that, we still don't even know what's up with your fight and what the dealie is with that. So I just feel like, what was the basis of this? Like, you are more experienced than Jake Paul. So probably the only thing he can teach you from a boxing perspective is business side of things and how to sell yourself better. You know what I mean? Something like that. But you're cool with Floyd Mayweather. He could teach you that better because Floyd did it at the highest level. Jake Paul has not done no fights bigger than Mayweather Pacquiao. I don't care. Like, put any of Jake Paul's fights against Maypac and Conor McGregor Mayweather, right? Mayweather McGregor. It pales in comparison. So you already have Andre Ward, Crawford, and Floyd, who you're cool with. So they could teach you, you know, Crawford could teach you boxing. Ward could teach you about life and also boxing. And then Floyd is the GOAT when it comes to like the business stuff and boxing. So he could teach, he's like, so you already had people in your corner. So you don't really need it. And whatever you got paid for sparring is that, like, did you need that? Like, people would have probably preferred you to fight Teofimo or whatnot, and then you would got bread from doing that. So I just felt the whole move from the jump was weird for Shakur Stevenson, but it looks even worse. It truly looks even worse to me, given the fact that the fight got canceled, because now you don't even have an end result. Now there's no conclusion. And based on how it played out, I don't even think they'll end up fighting down the line. Tank's not going to grow taller. The fight came and went and didn't happen. He called Tank a horrible human and a bad person and all this type of stuff. So at this point, it looks like if there was an opportunity for this fight to happen, it was then. It don't look like it's going to happen in the future. So while y'all was plotting, Ray Ford and Keyshawn and Shakur groupied out, helping Jake Paul, you didn't even arrive at a conclusion because the fight got canceled. So I just find that to be like just a bad look all in all. It really is a bad look. Now, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Drop it.